adaptive to actually change what you're doing. And it's a Z ban. I think that Z ban is actually much earlier than it was previously.
Yeah, that was last Z ban out of Team Liquid Academy in the previous one. This time, though, they're banning it right away. Nidalee is still open. The swap for Acadian's Gragas, replacing that Nidalee. So Liquid Academy, they're thinking, do we let the Nautilus go through once again? How do we answer to this sort of pick ban?
Oh, so they left? Okay. Okay, I can see that. So what they did is they threw Eva and they changed up their bans, banned Acadian, and now the Nidalee is what ends up getting banned from Team Liquid Academy. Corki goes over first pick, so they pretty much have already shown a bit of their hand here with the Corki possibly in mid lane. Could be AD carry though.
Yeah, and the first pick Corki out of Apex. Nautilus is up, and Zig is in love with that champion.
Yeah, you have to take it. At this point, if you don't take Nautilus, then you're
putting yourself in a weird position.
You're doing what happened yesterday, where Nautilus was going over to red side a couple times. Not what you want.
But there it is. Great. The Nautilus going to be locked in along with Braum for Liquid Academy.
Frontline down.
Yeah, very beefy.
Yeah, you can run whatever you want at this point, double AD carry. But of course, Corki is taken away, so double AD carry isn't as good. But you do stop Apex from running that strategy themselves by taking away large frontliners. They can still do it if they want to pick up Poppy. I think is a great jungler for them. I guess you could also pick another, you can go back to the Trundle, which they've been doing over and over again for Special. I don't like it, but I think it's a good pick into Nautilus. So now that Nautilus is taken, it's a little more justified.
Yeah, Eve has actually been playing a lot more aggressive style junglers. Elise, Kindred, Nidalee. And that Nidalee was banned away, so it looks like he decides to go back to the Elise, taking the same champion as his teammate Shrimp. But now Graves picked in as well.
Okay, so we know that that is a jungle Elise. It could be top lane Graves. It could be Graves AD carry. It could also be Graves mid for Keen. I have actually seen him play Graves mid a decent amount.
Really?
Yeah. Keen plays Graves mid, and I believe he goes with the just a almost standard build, I think. Yeah, I think he does. I've seen him play it a couple times, and it's something that's what the ban was. The ban was not against Shrimp for the Graves. I apologize for that because I don't think I've ever seen him play it. But Keen is a Graves mid player. And he loves that champion.
So the answer from Liquid Academy, an instant lock Lucian for Fabi, playing it to great success in games 1 and 2. It has been his go-to AD carry when Draven is off the table. And ooh, that Soraka was just being covered. I was about to get real excited that we were going to have a double, maybe even triple AD carry with Soraka, but Apex switching it around. Meanwhile, Rek'Sai is locked in for Acadian with that Gragas off the board.
Of course, these would be double flex here. You wouldn't know if that's a Poppy top or Poppy support or a Trundle top, Trundle support, but I assume it would be Poppy top. She does incredibly well with a lot of gold.
Yeah, so the Poppy and Trundle are going to be locked in. And it looks like almost all of Apex's team comp is flex, except for that Elise. Just about everyone can go everywhere else.
I like the Urgot hover from Smoothie.
The shout out to Keen there.
Yep. I really don't like this Rek'Sai pick. I think Rek'Sai, you will have a third frontliner, but Rek'Sai in terms of CC and reaching Graves, Corki, you're not going to be able to accomplish it very easily. They'll be able to slide away from you once the knockup comes through. They're just able to get away. Ooh. And also Trundle Pillar really shuts you down as well. Rek'Sai is not in the best state at the moment in terms of what she can accomplish for a team. She's really a vision bot. So if you're able to use that effectively, that's how you actually take over a game. Or you build full damage.
That's how we saw Acadian play the Gragas, just trying to keep an eye on Eve and Shrimp through the previous game, making sure he's got vision, making sure he's counter-ganking. So seems like that fits into Acadian's wheelhouse just fine so far. And with our final team comps locked in, we're about to get into game number 3.
Yeah, not final team comps, of course, because there will be at least one more game
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
2 more.
Final team comp for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should clarify. I apologize.
Yeah, the first team comp wasn't really working out this game, so we went with the final team comp.
We're switching it around. So the game's about to go live. Head on over to Twitter and start your hashing, your tagging. Hashtag Apex win or hashtag TLA win, and we'll see which one you're predicting to take this series in just a bit. So far, it's been in favor of the underdogs, Team Liquid Academy. And after that win in Game 2, I can start to see why.
Yeah, Team Liquid Academy are actually coming out and surprising a lot of people because everybody was saying, and I was definitely on that boat as well, that they don't have Dardoch and they don't have Matt. Who is taking over these calls? Who is being aggressive? I talked to Dardoch today, and it was really funny because I told you earlier, because we were on duo queue together for PTL, that I got to talk with him, and he said, I asked about TLA, he was like, I'll be honest, it's not looking really good. This might be TLA being able to take down Apex, the #1 seed, and make the promo tournament.
Yeah, definitely coming into their own as a team. This growth has been phenomenal for them to see, but is it a limited growth curve? Is it stopping at 1 win in the playoffs, or will they continue to snowball it forwards?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a strange kind of concept to grasp for a lot of people, that, and I kind of want to put this in the, I want to think about how I'm going to say this, because we see things all the time where a series will go in one team's favor, a game will go in one team's favor, especially in best of ones, and things like, your blue side all 5 games instead of swapping sides and stuff like that. So these variables can affect the outcome of the game. How well are these players playing on that day? And it's funny to say, but because a team wins, it does not necessarily mean they are a better team, right? They could be performing better on that day, or the other team is underperforming. But at the end of the day, we've seen teams like, let's just say SKT, they dropped games to teams that weren't really that good and ended up not being that good, but it doesn't mean they were better than SKT. It means that in that game, there were enough variables that went in their favor that influenced the percentage chance of winning, that they did come out with the victory. But yes, basically saying that anything can happen. But of course, we do know how a lot of these players perform. We do know some constants. And just like last game, right? Acadian pretty much had the game of the season for himself.
Huge play. We'll see if he can do it again in this game number 3 as the series is all tied up. Now, we did see a lane swap very early on. Fabi preps a large wave to hit the turret, and there is Keen taking Graves in the mid lane. He's actually up in CS right now. Youngbin did miss 2.
Yep. So when you play Graves, you basically know that you're going to be shoving the lane all game. And hopefully your jungler and the enemy jungler both recognize that he's going to be shoving the lane the whole game. Keen, of course, he is playing that into Youngbin's Victor, so adequate wave clear in response, but once he does actually get the upgrade on his laser is when that kicks in.
Yeah, it looks like we see a fast turret shove out of Team Liquid Academy, looking for the bottom tier 1. It's 3 versus 2, so they've got the lead over Apex on the top side of the map. Finally, Chris is racing his way up there, but again, the minion wave is just cleared so quickly without that extra person there to catch it. Boss Bomb is going to do quite a bit of work for Police, though, so they should be able to keep pace when it's all said and done, and Eve is even going to get to steal away this red buff, while Acadian does the same on his own side of the map. Wow, and look at that split. 50-50 right down the middle.
Yeah, there's only 2 people voting.
We like to think that it's a little bit more than that. Finally, the tier 1s are going to go down. Successfully bounced for Chris. Looks like a similar bounce for Zig on the far side as Eve looks for a gank onto Youngbin. Can he find the cocoon? Ooh, great dodge from Youngbin. He gets out, taking only a bit of poke.
Yeah, you saw Keen was trying to coordinate that with Eve. If he had actually landed the W, oh my word.
Smoke screen.
I was like, it's smoke. I want to say smoke bomb. But I was like, nope. We aren't playing WoW right now. Anyway, the smoke screen from Keen, it would have blinded Youngbin, and then he wouldn't have been able to see the cocoon come through. So Keen not landing that is what made it so that it was dodgeable when Eve jumped in.
Eve not going to blow a flash this time around with an early gank to try to turn that lane around. as the junglers continue farming it out. Acadian just a few steps behind as he spent some time helping out with the bottom tier 1. And the lane swap is going to be answered. It's Fabi and Smoothie going back to the bottom to find Police and Xpecial.
Yeah, they're putting Zig into the top lane against the Poppy. He's down in CS at the moment, and the wave is actually going to shove back into Chris's favor, but Fabi's going to be picking up a gigantic wave for himself. So they're kind of trading CS at this moment. Yeah, oh man, if Eve dives top, oh, they know that the TP's down. This is a great opportunity. Keen, if he roams top, they might be able to actually deny an entire wave and shut down this Nautilus and give Chris a gigantic advantage. That's what they're going to do right here. Acadian, if he doesn't come to this top lane, they don't stand a chance.
Oh, Keen looks like he's on his way to the Raptor camp. Oh boy, Zig level 3, taking some punishment, chunked down to half. They see Keen, he gets hooked under the turret, but the minions are still taking it. First blood, they kill Zig, and Acadian's pinned against the wall. He takes a tunnel to safety, but Apex clear the wave. Youngbin with the late roam forces the flash out of Keen, and Apex get out scot-free.
Yep, Eve, of course, with the Elise, what you need to be able to do is dive these turrets early on, make use of the repel, throw your enemies off, and Eve does that there with Keen. After they see the TP from Youngbin, is pretty much free low.
Or free Zig in this case.
Yeah, free Zig. Free Zig! What did he do? Free Zig!
Why is he in prison?
Oh, man.
All right, Keen teleports back into the mid lane. Catch some of this wave that's being pushed up. Level 6 picked up by both, as they are now even in CS. And Acadian not able to keep his top laner alive. Down now 10 CS, not to mention the experience.
Ugh.
Even in CS right now, even in experience right now. Yep. As Acadian goes for the invade, looks to seal away the Gromp, and Chris is doing Dire Wolves. Mark Wolf? I thought it was Dire Wolves. I don't know. I think it's Mark Wolf. Acadian finds Chris. They're just going to trade it out in the jungle. That pink ward is cleared. Easy peasy.
Okay, so what ends up happening with wave manipulation, when the wave is on the other team's side of the map, it's going to be pushing towards them if it's the large one that's on your side. Or I guess if there's blue minions and there's more of them and if they're on the side of TLA, they'll start slowly pushing. And so they got to that turret and then they bounce. So they're going to bounce all the way back here. Of course, they don't catch this wave appropriately and they just decide to actually lane swap it.
Ooh, good reaction from Youngbin. Dodges the cocoon. Teleport starts and is canceled by Zig. And the top tier 1 goes down. Looks like Apex want to answer on the bottom side. Gotta catch this wave for a play.
Oh wait, that's not a wave that can be caught. They're just going to either dive or take this turret.
Looking for a very early tier 2. Chris tries to get some damage onto Zig, but that Nautilus, even this early on, is nice and tanky. He's not afraid to take a few hits as the minion wave finally is going to be thinned out, but it's too late. The tier 2 goes down, and they're not even able to get this tier 1 on the bottom. No, he's taking his time.
And they're pinging it right now. I'm looking, Chris has TP, but that's too much to use on that. Oh man, police?
Police, please.
Police, please. Mid lane though, it is actually being chunked out by Keen, so Keen will be able to get this turret with the Graves being really close to it, able to do a lot of damage, and that's going to be, yeah, a little advantage.
Finally secures that mid tier 1, and yes, Police is going to secure the bottom tier 1 in answer. So 3-3 in turrets, all of the outers for TLA, for 2 outers and 1 inner of Apex.
Apex is farming better though. Apex has been able to catch the waves appropriately. Top wave, not caught by Chris, not able to pick up a decent amount of CS, or not caught by Zig. He got dove, and he also has 2 Doran's rings, which is not ideal. Ping on the backside of Fabi. Chris might TP to that.
Oh boy.
Let's see here.
Oh, he's pulled back away from the minion wave, starting a recall right now.
Nope.
But yeah, now they spot Xpecial over the far side. They were waiting for police to catch up. He's more of a mustard man himself. I like how I didn't even get a response. Just a quick exhale, just the heh. That was awful. TLA now move towards the mid lane, looking for the mid tier 1. There's the teleport, now looking to collapse. There's no tier 1 to answer. finds Smoothie. There goes the package. They don't catch him on the right side of it. He flashes. Knockup finds Youngbin. Still no flash of his own. Acadian joins up. Chris, down to below 100 health, has to walk away.
Now, Zig has to walk up. Doesn't have TP. Eve still trying to invade. Blue is up. They know it. Fabi, though, very healthy. Police, opposite situation. Same with Chris.
Buff being passed over to Youngbin. A Dragon is still on the map. No one has taken it just yet, but TLA are grouped in the mid lane with their remaining 3 members. There's a recall from Police and Chris. They could look for this tier 2 nice and quick, but instead they're just going to be content with the Dragon.
So that's going to be Dragon for TLA. And I want to talk about the build here from Acadian because this is an interesting build. He went for Red Smite over actually having the early warding from the Tracker's Knife, but he went Sightstone to compensate for that. So it's going to be a Warrior Rek'Sai with Challenging Smite and a Sightstone. His damage will be higher than what he would normally have as a Rek'Sai when you go the usual build. But I want to see what his second item is, or I guess his third item if you count Sightstone as one. Because if he goes for something like a Hex Drinker, then that gets really interesting for the Rek'Sai build, and where the damage palette for him ends up, or at least the damage check, as Freak likes to say.
Looks like we're seeing the Rift Herald being secured now by APX. Eve gets a lot of the preliminary work done, and Keen helps him finish it off before taking the buff himself.
Yeah, oh, I definitely think you're going to be shoving constantly as Graves, so why not get it?
Gets a lot of quick recall for, once again, the exact same build from him we've seen for the past 3 champions. Quinzed Graves, Serrated Dirk first, into Hex Drinker second, completed Maw of Malmortius, and then Swifties, though he is swapping it up, going for the Swifties now, on top of that Rift Herald.
He's got another ward, though, I don't know. Deviating from the build.
Oh yeah, he does have another long sword.
Did I say ward?
You did.
Yeah, I meant sword.
Sword, yes.
1,000 bad guys with swords.
Did we just get a glimpse into child Zirene?
Aladdin, man.
Oh, yeah. There it is. All right, 12 minutes in. We've got a quick Void Rush to get back in a lane for Acadian as he's farming in his natural habitat. As Fabi continues to catch waves in the mid lane. Quick shove from Keen. Shoves that minion wave under the tier 2. There's going to be a few creeps that are missed.
Yeah. Trying to see what the rotation is like here from TLA. If they branch off inappropriately, then X Special is able to just section them with a pillar and catch him out. Keen, of course, does loop back down to the bot lane. It's pretty much just going to be farm time for a bit here. Looking at how Apex actually starts anything off, it's pretty obvious with the Trundle. You'd have to play around TP timing right now. I do think that Youngbin and Zig could make something happen.
A little bit of an interesting interaction between Chris and Zig, but
yeah,
nothing quite comes of it. Police, on the other hand, about 20 CS ahead of Fabi. Quick recall is going to get him a very early Trinity Force. It's a big power spike. He's actually up by about 400 gold. And we're actually seeing some gold leads just about everywhere. Maybe 50 gold for Chris, but 700 for Keen. Another 3 to 4 for Police, Special. Keeping even on top of that. Looks like Apex are going to be the ones who actually come out ahead for the first time against TLA.
That early game doing really well. Apex, this is usually how they close out games. They get that early game lead, and then they're able to group up, fight, and just force the issue over and over again. And they are really fantastic players, so for just grouping up and being like, okay, I can rely on this guy's individual skill to deliver in the team fight, they're good. Oh.
Keen is going to be knocked up. Exhaust blocks him down. There's a stun. Maw of Malmortius is not enough against Fabi's physical damage.
Yeah, not sure why he flashed there, because he was pretty much dead to rights. Walked up, had his... I think he A-clicked into the bush and put a ward down, because he immediately auto-attacked. And then he was able to get picked up. So, good pickup there. I believe Fabi gets the kill. Exactly what he needed to start closing that gap that's been created by Police.
Essence Reaver is completed for Fabi as Youngbin starts stacking up I'm not sure, but I think that's a Rabadon's death cap first.
For Youngbin?
Yeah, he's got the components.
Yeah.
But again, those AP items go into everything, so we'll see what he decides to settle on, if not just going for more Hextech core upgrades. Meanwhile, 15 minutes in, Dragon number 2 is going to be spawning in 90 seconds.
These teams are very active at clearing wards. You're seeing how much vision is just being swept out, placed down, swept out, pink wards coming down. Everybody's just finding each other's vision, but TLA are able to keep complete control of their left side of the map, whereas APX are struggling to actually make anything stick.
Yeah, Team Liquid Academy, you can see a complete line of tunnels for Acadian all across the jungle.
That's one of the best things as Rek'Sai is you get to set up a route, and that's basically the optimal way to use your tunnels, is create a network in your jungle so that you can actually optimize farm time.
He is doing just that with his warriors. Now blue buff is being stolen, but here comes a teleport. Zig instantly stunned as it's completed. Gets the depth charge onto Police. Flash buys him some time. Hook is not going to hit. And Apex succeeds. He's stunned against the wall. Youngbin gets destroyed. Looks like Zig goes down as well. No, that's Smoothie. Zig gets out with his life, but he finally goes down to a double kill from Keen. Apex just turned that around. Triple kill for Keen. 4 kills for free.
And they're able to get this turret for free as well, with that one minion just pretty much living to the very end, taking that last shot.
Oh man, that was huge for Apex. Now Dragon is going to spawn on top of this as they take that tier 2.
Take everything.
That was absolutely explosive. Zig, Team Liquid Academy was so intent on trying to find a fight that when it happened, they weren't ready.
This right here, Eve, Cocoon, instantly hits Zig and it stops it. Really well played there by Eve. Didn't get the hook, actually went short, hit the wall, didn't hit Police, and then everybody retreats, puts Youngbin against the wall. Target selection there from Chris. It is sometimes difficult to actually find the target you want to hit against the wall in that big cluster, but he did a good job of singling out the one guy that he wanted to blow up. And that pillar actually stopped Fabi's dash there as well. That looked like he's just trying to get it out. His foot went forward. And now TLA have to fight from a gigantic deficit now.
Very convincing fight as they, as you mentioned, being able to target select Youngbin throughout that mess of people quite successfully. Blue buff being handed over to Police.
Yeah, because if they were able to make it back through the choke point, then you just throw down Gravity Field and then you're able to zone off everybody. But that was a very strange kind of set of moves from TLA. They used the TP and then they really didn't want to use it for nothing. So Zig tried to get the hook, and then it clipped the wall of the Dragon Pit instead of going after Police. That was unlucky. And then they backed up instead of collapsed onto Chris, so he got to just run straight through and get that primary target.
Chris now shoving on the far side, completed his Sunfire and the Spectre's Cowl. So he's already getting towards that super tank Poppy, while Zig looks to do the same with the Sunfire of his own. And another Bomby Cinder on top of that. No, that's the Kindle Gem. Yeah.
They're both on fires.
They are on fire this game. Well, maybe not this one.
The Double Doors Ring is a little different, though. Or Nautilus. Usually you see Corrupting Potion. But
the way that I've always heard it is you go for the Riptide max with double Dorans, and you clear minion waves in one Riptide. That's what I have heard.
Yeah, okay. I understand that it does that. I'm just not
a fan.
A big fan.
18.5 minutes in, Apex, after taking a very decisive early fight, continue to press their advantage. Now they're getting wards to stick. Team Liquid Academy have lost that entire tunnel network. They've lost a lot of their vision in their own jungle.
Feels bad, man. When they just step all over your tunnels and they just place so much vision, you're like, basically feel like how Elise should actually feel when somebody destroys your web. It's like, no, my work!
I spent so much time building that.
My work!
You guys just walk on it and it goes away. So we'll see if Apex can make anything happen of it, as Team Liquid Academy are trying to reclaim control over their jungle. Refreshed Sightstone from Acadian is already emptied as he tries to get some wards back on the map. As we're approaching the 20-minute mark. Looks like Smoothie trying to do the same. He's got a few charges still built up. He actually did just complete his recall. So despite all of the vision, really they just cleared TLA back out. Haven't been able to do anything with it yet.
Cleared TLA back out. Apex, though. They're going to start losing vision control in the jungle of TLA, and then the ward line will be pushed back out to around the middle. I do want to talk about a purchase here that we don't see very often, and it's Keen with Death's Dance. He builds this pretty often on Graves. It gives you the damage reduction, and that Brawler's Glove may turn into a Phantom Dancer, so you get double damage reduction. So you get the damage reduction, or I guess kind of damage mitigation that turns into a bleed on the Death's Dance so you don't die as quickly, and then the Phantom Dancer damage reduction, which I believe they actually stack.
Yes, because Lament applies to your target.
Yeah.
The Phantom Dancer damage reduction.
Yeah. And it's really a strong build. And with Graves' True Grit giving him extra resistances when he uses his slide, he's using his quick draw, then stacking that up, you just become this very tanky Graves that does a whole lot of damage. Because I believe it's a 75 damage item with cooldown reduction on it as well. So. And also your Qs will heal you, and your ulti will heal you as well with the Death's Dance. So it's a great purchase on pretty much mid lane Graves and I think Aatrox as well. It's pretty good.
Once again, we see Apex, putting some forward pressure onto Liquid Academy. They're trying to contest this top side of the jungle to clear away the top tier 2 and open up that side of the map for them. They've got a lot of wards and vision, but this time Liquid Academy have a few wards of their own just to keep an eye on it, as Keen is continuing to shove over and over. Same thing out of Police, and this is opening up with a pretty solid advantage, slowly but surely, for Apex. We're seeing a 40 CS lead for Police. Keen rocking a 15 CS lead of his own. Those carries are so vital.
Yeah, and speaking of carries, Chris accidentally took the blue. Maybe accidentally. He should have gone over to Police, most likely. Allows him to spam a little bit more. IE and Trinity Force completed here. Big spike for Police. And there's also a big spike for Keen with these two items. I think that this is a lot of just raw damage to throw out. If Keen is able to get up in anybody's face, and if that Brawler's Glove also allows him to get a crit, then he just goes absolutely insane in the damage department. Sorry, I was about to say, Keen likes to split, and that's just who he is as a player. He just likes to split push. So he's just going to get farm, he's going to get soloed, EXP. He does have TP. So that's why that's a little bit better than the Zed game, but the Zed game he was still able to show up on time. But that's how Keen loves to play League of Legends.
Splitting in those side lanes. You can see him currently in his natural habitat on that top side of the map. Dragon's up in 4 seconds, and Apex are prepared. They've got some wards. They're stealing away the jungle of Liquid Academy.
Would his natural habitat actually be the mid lane?
He's a split pusher.
He's a mid laner.
So if you take a tiger out of the jungle and let it roam the Sahara, is its natural habitat the Sahara or the jungle? Sahara or the jungle? Is it where you come from or where you go?
I think it's where you come from. Really? Yeah, natural habitat.
I could sort of see that, because if you put that same tiger in the zoo, its natural habitat is still the jungle.
Yeah. If it was born in the zoo and then you released it.
Wait, its natural habitat is still the jungle.
Whoa!
Oh, God!
I just contradicted myself.
We just went full Discovery Channel in here. Woo!
Yeah, I guess that would be where the species originates from. All right, we're done.
Okay, let's get back to League of Legends.
Time is it?
We know League of Legends. Let's talk about that.
Do we? Do we even?
I think.
All right, we hope so.
All right. Dragon number 2 was secured in that meantime. And everyone goes back to the places they were from. We're not going down that road.
That's still just as big. Like, I'm from Washington, but I'm also from Santa Monica, so.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh. Where am I from? Isn't that just one of the greatest mysteries of life, though?
Where do you come from?
Where are we from?
Where do we go? Where do you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Man, if it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe.
No one would have asked. Oh, Cotton Eye Joe, curse you.
I'd been married a long time ago. All right, Police does have a package, though. Looking to marry it to one of the members of TLA. Special delivery. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Marry it right to him. Yeah. Oh, Smoothie securing that. Smooth moves by Smoothie.
Sweet sounds of Smoothie stealing jungle camps, but Chris.
Sweet sounds of a lollipop bashing a hammer. He actually just used the keeper's verdict.
Okay, this is a little,
Hold the phone,
just
Chris.
stop, he's already gone.
He's already completely fine.
Yeah, Police was roaming up, so he wanted to try and stall him for long enough that Police could get in and use the package to cut it off Zeke's retreat. Keen, though, Cadian's gotta watch out.
Oh, looking to steal away the red buff.
Oh, he
got it. Gets it.
Cadian did have Smite as well, so.
Yeah, and Keen has a Zeal now, so he's going for that Phantom Dancer you mentioned. Quick rotation from Apex finds them in the mid lane. They get some damage onto the tier 2. Not able to break it down. Keen is split, but so tanky. He's locked down. There's so much trying to keep him alive, and he is still alive. Police gets a kill in the meantime. Make that 2. Chris makes it and is able to stop Zig. 5 members of Apex group, they net 2 kills.
Yeah, and Keen just picks up so much for himself there. I believe he also had a... Is he using Warlord's Bloodlust? I think he might be. He got healed. He also had his Maw go off. That's probably what I was seeing, his Maw. And then he has Death's Dance. So he got so low, and he's able to just throw out a Q and an R, and he just does so much damage and heals off of the Spell Vamp, and also the damage there. But still, we'll talk about that more in a second.
Apex turn it into a fight. They peel off of the Dragon. Even the front repels to get away, but Zig has gone down, and Keen is back to nearly full health. He's single-handedly chasing away 2 members with that low health Graves. Smoothie has respawned and makes it back in time. Acadian's back up as well. There's the Void Rush.
Yep, stops the Baron, though. So, but they do sacrifice a lot of members to do so. Yep. TLA, 6,000 gold down in Game 3 at 26 minutes. Apex were able to close out Game 1 at the 28-29 minute mark here. Keen smited, knocked up, eats a laser, flash. Right there, ulti's back, throws out the Q. Exhaust is off by then. And he just starts healing at this point with the Maw, with the sated passive, as well as Death's Dance. He's pretty much full HP again by the end of that.
That is so scary. And yeah, there's the Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, PD.
5, 1, and 3.
Yeah, PD's underpurchased.
He is doing some work in this game. In game number 1, he was able to kill Fabi, and they won. In game number 2, he wasn't, and they lost. In game number 3, well, you see the results of that.
5, 1, and 3. 100% kill participation for the mid lane. Keen is doing a fantastic job this game. Love the build. I think it's just such an annoying build because that scenario that we just saw right there, where they think they can kill Keen. Oh, it's just a squishy Graves. No.
He's down to 1,000 health.
No. Like, he's very tanky. Not only does he have a Maw, and then he starts healing. You max Quick Draw second, and True Grit gives you 30 armor and magic resistance that stacks 4 times. So you can get 120 armor and magic resistance by dashing 4 times in a fight if you continue to get auto attacks off, which these 2 items, or these 3 items, I guess, allow you to stay alive longer, which allows you to get tankier. So it's kind of this cycle that you get to make. And then I assume, that it's going to, the Steric's the next thing. So all Graves needs is durability to make himself even more durable while he's just dishing out so much base damage.
We'll see if Liquid can bring him down as they find the fast track towards the mid-tier 1, but Chris gets in with a triple knockup. Police gets bursted down, but that's a lot of damage dropped onto Police, and he's still alive. Keen looks for an entrance, can't find it. Liquid Academy, they don't get the turret, but they don't lose anything.
But they need things at this point. 15 seconds on the Dragon, and they're 7,000 gold down.
And Apex have complete control over this side of the jungle. Wards everywhere, even smiting away the Direwolves or Merkwolves for those so entertained. And Dragon coming up. This is number 3 for Apex. What better way to aid your split pusher? Aiden's trying to click on it right now to confirm. I'm pretty sure it's Direwolf.
I wish the spectator would tell me. It does not. Anyway,
Keen
Fight the top.
is split pushing. He gets stunned down. Super
Oh, yeah.
tanky though. Chunked down to half health.
Here's the build, by the way.
There goes the Maul of Malmortius. Dragon 3 picked up. He's still doing some work. Exhaust buys some time. He dashes it around. Keen
Nice
going
build.
1v3, and he's finally going to go down. No, he's still up. He's healing up. Acadian is forced to back away. Here comes Fabi. Keen isn't done just yet. It takes Fabi to drop him. Keen finally gets shut down. But it took 4 people to stop him, and Apex are charging down the mid lane.
And that's all he needed to do was just buy some time. Bot lane actually gets shoved out, and now they don't have the minion wave mid, so that actually does end up being a death in vain for Keen. Gives over some shutdown gold, 450 more. But yeah, that build is insane, and it only gets worse with Sterix.
Yeah, Keen's so strong. 30 seconds for the respawn timer. You saw some pings coming out from Team Liquid Academy towards that Baron pit. They're now trying to fast track down towards the mid-tier 1 to finish what they started a few minutes ago, but Apex are ready. They're not going to make it in time, and finally this tier 1 goes down, bringing it to 5-4 in favor of Apex in turrets. But Apex, they still have so much momentum in this game, and there's the finished Sterix gauge from Keen.
The build is actually really fluid, and it's moderately cheap as well. Sterix is not an expensive item, and Ma, now the components are rather good, rather easy to build up. Phantom Dancer got drastically reduced in cost. Sig though, caught.
Cocoon doing some damage. Ah, who am I kidding? That's a Nautilus. That didn't do anything. Just takes a hook back out. Or a drill? Hook drill.
Yeah, it's kind of the Lego Man Nautilus skin. He looks like a Lego man.
He does.
Looks just like a Lego man.
I never put the comparison together in my head. 31 minutes in. Apex continuing to press their advantage. They're only up to a 6.3k gold from the larger 10k that they had earlier, but they are so strong. Zig now, Chris, split pushing on the far side. He's got his teleport while the remaining members of Apex are grouped up around the Baron pit, and the package has just spawned for police, so they could look for a little bit of action earlier on, but instead they're content to continue keeping up the pressure, get those wards, look for picks, try to find it. TLA just have not been willing to give up those picks.
Yeah, at the start of the game though, and it got out of their hands. Keen just ended up getting that gigantic kill off of Chris's TP. And since then, TLA haven't been able to do a single thing that's been really proactive this game.
They've been defending. They've been
they
preventing Apex from winning, which is pretty important when you think about it.
At that point, you're on the back foot and you're no longer trying to win. You're just trying not to lose. So TLA are at that point where they're just trying to stop the bleeding. And it's okay. And I know a lot of people criticize teams for not trying to win. They're just trying to not lose, right? Because what TLA are doing are they're trying not to lose so that they can find the opportunity that they can get the victory. It's kind of that shift in gears where you're defensive up until a point. Maybe it's level 18, maybe it's 100,000 gold on each team, however long you can stall out, because you definitely can stall out with this victory.
100,000 gold is a bit optimistic. We're halfway there right now for Liquid Academy.
There's 100,000 gold in the game.
Yeah, after 33 minutes. Things now going down on the Baron, though.
Oh. Yeah, use the package on the Baron. They're actually just baiting this out. Police has the package. They're playing to the side that Keen's on.
Ooh, are we going to get a base race? Keen is splitting on top.
I don't think so.
Is up there as well. Team Liquid Academy rushing down towards mid. Police trying to catch up, but the recalls have been initiated. Young Bin trying to get back to base in time. TLA grouped as 4, keeping themselves safe, but Keen gets the top tier 2. That's 400 gold for Apex. There goes a package for police to continue chase, prevent the recall.
They're going to try to stop him from having the inside track onto that top side. Fabi.
Zig is keeping Chris occupied on the far side, but Keen breaks down the inhibitor turret. Liquid Academy, they can't respond.
Yeah. Backs being interrupted there. Well played by Apex. And still, Keen is Honey Badger mode.
Look at that damage. Shredded the
oh my god.
Ooh, trying to shred it out, but he's not quite able to. Police is caught in the knockup. Keen tanking the culling with not a care in the world. Chris buys some time with a quick flash cast. Fabi on the far side trying to do what he can, but Keen, he's so tanky, just soaking all of his damage. This Sterix has been proc. He's now gone full Hulk mode. Can he try to finish it off as Police kills Zig in the front? And Apex are just going to continue to bully forward. Are they even going to wait for minions as they look for this next inhibitor turret? No, they're not. They're going to break it down with no hesitation, and Team Liquid Academy can't answer. Apex, once again, snowballing with this aggression.
Trying to close it out here. Fabi trying to do what he can. It's not much, though.
Cocoon finds Youngbin. Police gets tagged.
Oh,
He's
Police!
so low. Fabi finally gets the shutdown by killing him. There's a flash from Keen and Eve to get out of there. Chris is going to be caught by the stun. Ooh, Laser finds him as well. He's dropped a double kill. Now, how can TLA answer? It's 3 versus 4 right now.
They might have to just run towards this Baron. I'm not sure. Acadian can back. He does have his ultimate up. That's 2 members down. Special low, Keen low, Eve low. 2 inhibitors down. You have to go for this Baron. You have to try to make some desperate play. Special hasn't even backed yet.
Oh, there goes a teleport for Keen. He's back up to full. They're trying to shred through, but here comes the rest of Apex. Zig doing what he can to zone them away and keep them off the pit. Down to 1,000 health. It is going to be picked up by Liquid Academy. There goes a depth charge onto Keen. If they can kill him before he gets the full power, that would be huge, but he just walks away. And TLA, they lose 2 inhibitors, but they take the Baron.
Yeah, they take the Baron, which gives them more gold, more stalling power. And with 2 inhibitors down, you just get to make sure that you don't lose any turrets. You'll be able to have the Baron buff up and the inhibitors will respawn. Just stop the bleeding and actually get yourself back in this game. Despite it being an 8,000 gold lead still for Apex, it's getting closer.
Is indeed Dragon number 4 being secured now by Apex on the 36-minute mark, right? Nah, 30, oh, come on. They heard me. They were listening. They were waiting. 36:02 is when that Dragon is secured. That means a 42-minute Dragon, but here's that chase.
Yeah, this is Smoothie. This is Smoothie and Fabi. Smoothie lands the Q, and then Fabi has the pickup there. Smoothie lands the Q, Fabi gets the pickup.
I think I'm seeing a pattern.
Yep. Yeah, if Smoothie hadn't landed those, then it wouldn't have been the same fight. Doesn't matter if like lasers were going out or anything like that. There's really Fabi and Smoothie getting those 2 picks. And Fabi 4-1-0. 100% kill participation, all of the kills.
As expected, Fabi again performing admirably for Liquid Academy.
Oh.
Again, this is game number 3. It's head-to-head right now.
Also, I do want to mention something about this Graves build. The Phantom Dancer has 45% attack speed on it, which is more than the Rapid Fire Cannon, which has 30%, and Static Shiv, and so on. The 45% actually puts you at a really, really great feeling breakpoint for your auto attacks, because he basically gets a great cadence to it where it goes, and then you reload really quickly. So you get to almost feel like a real AD carry at that point. And all you need is 45%.
As compared to the old AD carry that Graves once was.
Yeah, just watch how he attacks in fights, because when people play Graves, and I know some people will try to play him after this game, you're going to feel really clunky. When you get the Phantom Dancer, that actually turns around and you feel more fluidity to his auto attacks. The cadence is good, auto, auto, E, auto, and it's really, really fast. But keep an eye on that here.
With Baron buff, Liquid Academy have been able to defend. So far, they've been keeping their lanes split rather admirably to keep Apex away from their base, but Apex are just continuing to snowball up. 400 CS now crested for Keen in the mid lane. Youngbin hot on his heels with 390 of his own. And even Police working on a pretty healthy amount. He's 5 items. So far, we're seeing 5 item out of Fabi as well as he gets towards that finish.
6 for Keen, though. 6 is what Keen has right now. He's pretty much maxed out. The Bloodthirster is his last item. More attack damage, more lifesteal, more tankiness from just auto attacking.
Yeah, no, the Baron buff has just fallen off, and Apex are sieging the last remaining inhibitor turret and inhibitor.
Yeah, right there. Just heard how quickly Keen was able to pop those 2 shots off.
Chris is on his way with teleport in his pocket. Could look for a split push or try to join up with his team as Smoothie tries to get some wards to prevent any sort of flanking action. So far, the wave clear seems to be enough for TLA to keep themselves standing.
Yeah, we see Smoothie off on the side. Smoothie can tag the appropriate targets and then pick up afterwards. see.
And the top inhibitor is about to come up as well, so TLA have successfully defended. This should be the last super minion wave coming towards TLA's base now.
Chris got chunked out a little bit. I'm actually really surprised we're not seeing drop portals from both top laners. That item is broken. That item is so good. But they've decided to go for Thorn Mails and Maws here for Chris. A little more damage. But Zirene is just such a powerful item on tanks. Helps with initiation by walking up, helps with stalling waves, helps your gold income after you TP.
Yeah, looks like Apex going back to what worked, the split push. Put Keen on the top side and everybody else in the mid with Chris in bottom. Now they do have 4 dragons, and while they might not be able to end just yet, they still have momentum, they still have the game in their favor, and more importantly, they can bait Liquid Academy into this next fight, because if Dragon 5 goes over, it doesn't matter how good the wave clear of Liquid Academy is, Apex is just going to dive and end the game.
It's going to be up in 2 minutes now, so 42:06 will be the timer there for that 5th dragon.
Yes, I am painfully aware of the fact that it's not ending on a 0-0.
But 8,000 gold lead for Apex. Youngbin does have the ability to stall this game, though, with the wave clear that he has. And we could possibly see 6 items for many, many players. And you can see here, Zig buys himself an Elixir of Iron. When you see players purchase elixirs at this point in the game, it's because they think that the gold that they're sitting on isn't going to have enough time to actually turn into permanent combat stats. You're buying this potion for that dragon fight, you're looking for an opportunity, because that 400 gold can either be spent on that, or it can sit in your pocket, and then you lose the fight, and you wish you had done something else because the game's over at that point.
18 seconds separate the spawning of Dragon and Baron. They're both going to be up at the same time, and all 9 members, excluding Chris, are grouped up around or near that mid lane as everyone's getting ready. The timer is counting down. Apex they want and need that 5th dragon, and so too do TLA. Who's it going to be? They're fighting over vision right now, trying to prepare, trying to get ready for it, but it's just so hard to keep up with these 2 full build teams.
Yeah. Hex Drinker for Acadian as well. 2 damage items, and then 2 armor tank items. So Police will be doing a decent amount of damage to Acadian, but pretty much everybody is doing a decent job. Special, we'll see who he uses his ulti on. Most likely will be Nautilus every time. You can see how well that's worked out as well. 0-4 for Zig.
Dragon's up in 10, but Baron is up in 26.
Package.
Got the package. Police is waiting inside of a pink bush. He knows he's not going to be spotted. Is Police going to give the old 1-2?
Yep.
Oh, lots of damage finds Smoothie. He's cocooned against the wall, but is soaking a lot of it right back. Acadian's in the front line. Keen trying to do what damage he can. Nobody's died just yet. There goes a huge Chaos Storm shredding through Apex. I can't believe it, but nobody's died. Now Dragon has spawned. This is Dragon number 5. They're shredding through it too quickly, and it is picked up. Baron's up now, and TLA can't even fight for it. They're pinging onto it right now, but there's nothing they can do.
Nope, at this point in the game, they don't have the damage to actually take down anybody from Apex, despite actually wounding them pretty heavily there. As this resistances are coming through, and we're seeing this with 5th Dragon. Look at this, you're actually hitting that thing as if it were a player. 800 on it. Deadly.
Baron never stood a chance. Dragon 5 and Baron buff now on Apex. TLA are up against an absolute titan of a team. Level 18 on everyone except for Special and Smoothie. Oh, and I guess Fabi, but he's on his way there.
Yeah. With
level 17. 43 minutes in, and Apex, they've played it out long enough. They have now achieved the ultimate win condition. Control the neutral objectives and push to win.
Yeah, Eve also not 18 just yet, but they're just going to shove down mid-wave. They have complete control. It should just be bookkeeping here for Apex as they close the game out with all of these buffs that you could possibly want.
There's not a chance that TLA is going to go down without a fight, though. The first inhibitor is dropped, and Apex now roam towards the top. They take a little bit of poke from Youngbin. Got to be careful to watch for the AoE, so trying to split it up around that turret. Fabi takes a little bit of damage, but he's burning down so quickly, and the next inhibitor is dropped on top of it. Not even Apex is willing to fight a full-on 5v5 fully powered Team Liquid Academy without being fully prepared.
Now, why would you do that when you could just take all 3 inhibs? They're just going to be super methodical about this. Take the safe route. Why would you put yourself in a place where you give the enemy at least some percentage chance
To come back.
that's higher than if you had just done this? So they're going to do this. Buffed up minions. Dragon 5. Yeah.
Turret slowly being whittled down. We're not seeing anybody auto-attack it just yet to get the burn onto it. Dragon 5 and Baron still standing.
Oh man, they're so fast. Look at how Police just skirts around.
Yeah, they've got about a minute or so, maybe a minute and a half left on that Dragon 5, but the inhibitor turret goes down. The inhibitor follows. Just like that, 3 inhibs are dead. They've still got Dragon 5 for a minute. Baron for another 90 seconds. Wow, a single auto attack. Chunks Young been out.
1/3. Oh, he's
And
another.
a rocket. Police looks for another, but he doesn't find the execution. Culling. Chunks Police down to half. They're shoving forward, looking for the Nexus turrets. Apex are trying to end, but Team Liquid Academy are not going to let it go without a fight. There goes the Keeper's Verdict, completely missing. But the 2 Nexus turrets are going down. There's nothing they can do to stop Keen. He's so tanky, and Liquid Academy, again, the hook misses. This game just will not end.
Yeah, Police, he wants to actually stay here. He doesn't want to have to back and come back in. They want to end the game right now.
Oh, Keen takes some punishment. There goes the Sterix gauge. Collateral damage.
Oh!
Now Youngbin goes down. Eve on the side, and this is the fight. Police in the front. Fabi dropped. Fabi is able to pick it up. He's doing so much damage from the side. Special and Chris are trying to shut him down, but the 2 damage dealers are gone. Fabi finally drops. Eve looks to go down as well. Acadian can't catch up. He finally does. It's 2 versus 2. Team Liquid Academy's tank line versus Apex's tank line. The game balance is on the line, but Special doesn't even care. He's running for the Nexus. He's got minions on his side, and Apex are going to try to shut this down. Is there enough damage for Liquid Academy? It's just the slowest Nexus tank you could possibly imagine. Can't pull him into the fountain, and this is going to be it going down. Apex take the win in a 46-minute game that was neck and neck the whole way through.
It's about a huge lead for Apex. Majority of that game, we're talking 8,000 gold plus, and then they had neutral objective lead pretty much the entire time. And oh man, that was insane.
Ending.
Fabi almost got away with murder there. He was able to pick up kills on the outskirts of that fight. He almost was able to just salvage the game for them. If he had gotten that kill, then, or if he had not gotten stunned against that little pillar in the base.
the one
tiny
thing, obstruction.
The one thing. Eat into that by Poppy. No longer able to just skirt around and just be a nuisance, because he was really close to cleaning that up and killing everybody else, and then being able to clear side waves, get 6th item, make sure that they are up and available for that next dragon. Of course, you would be having a ton of super minions in your base, though. So not sure what would have happened at that point, but of course, almost.
Yeah.
But Apex did get a lead. It took them a long time. They were methodical about it. Definitely a way to bounce back from a previous loss and put yourself up 2-1.
It's good to see that a team like Apex, after losing, after having to adapt, that their baseline is so methodical. Take your time. Play your win condition. Put Keen in the side lane, put Chris in the other, and then just build up those neutral objectives, take down the turrets, wait for the enemy team to make a mistake. And that's why it was such a patient game. And really, this comes down to the shot calling for Apex, the fact that they've been able to pull this together with a bilingual roster.
Yeah, and that's really the big thing, is they're able to communicate really well. Keen, of course, he does translate in-game. It's the same thing with like TDK now, where Kez is translating in about every 30 seconds, he said, trying to make it sure that the entire team is on the same page with the call. But Keen, I mean, if you just split push and you have TP and you just jump into these fights, then yeah, 100% kill participation for Keen. Really good job on that Graves. And now we're seeing why it was banned in games 1 and 2 by TLA. Left open this game. And I said that they should probably stop banning it for Shrimp, but yeah, wasn't Shrimp.
Yeah, that was Keen.
Wasn't for Shrimp.
And Keen has been playing. I feel like we've seen both sides of Keen this game. In Game 1 and Game 3, he has gone off and done some serious work for his team. But then in Game 2, he wasn't really able to get up off of the ground and just sort of was there.
Yeah, in game 2, the Quinn's feast or famine though. Quinn is one of those big feast or famine champions. Kind of, I don't want to say similar to Talon, but it's really kind of really close. You want to roam a whole lot, especially in the mid lane. It's so volatile. If you get behind, then they hit damage breakpoints to 100 to 0 you. If you get ahead, then you just 100 to 0 them every time you see them. And just the roaming, it's usually like how a Talon likes to play as well. So I think that the pickup blind is not a very good one. I think that the Graves is a much better one because it's hard to find a counter to the way that Graves plays because he just shoves you in and walks back, and that's how he just plays the entire laning phase.
Mm-hmm. The Victor was a good answer to try to keep up, constantly clear waves, buy time for your team to come back. But it was just Apex took an advantage, and then it was the two keeping pace as they moved forward throughout the game until finally enough neutral objectives allowed Apex to close it out. And even then, despite a 10,000 gold difference, that fight was awfully touch and go.
Oh, it was very, very close. I do think that if that pillar had not been there, Fabi may have been able to rescue the game and make it go off, make it go on longer. Mm-hmm. But of course, they were eager to get into game 4, and Apex, they're one game away from being in the promotion tournament and having to play TDK to see who gets that kind of first round bye and actually into the double elimination bracket without having to play the 10th place LCS team.
Yeah.
So finals do matter a lot.
Getting that seed is very important because then I believe it is you have to win 1 best of 3.
Yep. You have to win 1 out of 2 best of 5s.
Yes.
So the way it works is the number 2 seed plays the number 2 seed from Challenger plays the number 10 seed from the LCS. If you lose that, you're out. Winner of that plays, I believe, the number 8 LCS team.
Yes.
So the number 8 LCS team plays the winner of 10 LCS and 2 Challenger. And then on the other side of the bracket, it's number 1 Challenger versus number 9.
Yeah.
So those two are actually double elimination. If you win one of those best of 5s, you're into the LCS. You're one of those teams that make it. One of those, of course, 3 teams make it in, 5 teams enter. So one gets eliminated first. Then you go to the double elimination portion for the 2 losers of those sides of those 2 games, the ones that actually put 2 people into the LCS, and those losers play for that last spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit of opportunity, but Apex is 1 game away from taking the series. We'll see if they can get it done with game number 4 against Team Liquid Academy. Stay with us. He's stunned against the wall. Yunbin gets destroyed. Looks like Zig goes down as well. No, that's Smoothie. Zig gets out with his life, but he finally goes down to a double kill from Keen. Now Keen is split, but so tanky. He's locked down. There's so much trying to keep him alive, and he is still alive. Police gets a kill in the meantime. Make that 2. Smoothie, he's cocooned against the wall, but is soaking a lot of it right back. Acadian's in the front line. Keen trying to do what damage he can. Nobody's died just yet. There goes a huge Chaos Storm shredding through Apex. Fabi dropped. Fabi is able to pick it up. He's doing so much damage from the side. Special and Chris are trying to shut him down, but the 2 damage dealers are gone.